No.
Oh,
I was wondering if you're going to have a unicorn in this.
I'll bet you were, considering.
Because,
Yes,
yep,
because of things.
because of things. And I was just reading up on unicorns and it's like, that. I wonder why we never came across one of those in this area.
oh yes,
You
Blade
didn't
Runner.
go in the forest, for starters.
Oh,
You didn't, because there were nasty elves that wanted to murder you.
in that part of the forest?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's the
I
same.
figured that
It's the
it would have
same
been closer.
forest, and you just
Yeah.
killed, leagues of it. That'll be
It's,
fun.
it's fine. It's fine. No worries.
All right. So as after the end of the last session, uh, when you guys drove off the assassins, and you're licking your wounds, go ahead and just kind of describe what you're doing at the moment.
Olver is just making fun of Ezra and Alabaster because they ate their enemy. um, yeah,
I'm
and
thinking that keep that corpse relatively together. We'll question it later.
I think after making fun of him, Olver would get a little more introspective of what just occurred in the forest and at the tree, and be bothered by it. I think it'd be just kind of somber at this time.
Well, the other members of your group, being Riken and Alabaster and Ido, are having a little bit of an argument as you and Ezra stand off to one side, and you're thinking to yourself, and you're kind of listening to the buzz of the conversation, both of you. Ezra, what are you doing at this moment?
So I just died twice. So I'm kind of catching my breath a bit for the moment. And I'm thinking of questions to ask this dragonkin because I can speak with dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to interrogate it about the Black Hammer. But I'm also wondering how we're going to turn this crystal branch into a spear because we can't really whittle it.
Mm-hmm.
But we
That
do also
leads
have to go back and get the other parts.
that leads me to another question: who currently has the branch?
It would just be on the floor at the moment
Okay,
Well,
because we would
Riken would have had it, but I don't know what he did with it because he's the one that carried it
that's
in.
fine. Let's say that it's
he would
laying
have
on the
carried
ground.
it
Right.
in and we would have dropped it because the fight happened immediately.
We'll say it's on the ground, and as a miracle, did not get stepped on by a T Rex. I mean, you were flying, right?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we were doing that.
All right, so it's probably the only reason Ido didn't get stepped on. All right, let's say you're sitting there and you're thinking about, all of these things, Ezra and Olver. And as you do that, you hear the buzz of your companion's mild argument off to one side as Riken has just come back into the top of the tower. And as you're sitting there, all of a sudden it goes dead quiet.
Olver looks up and just tries to figure out what's going on.
Ezra touches his face because he thinks he's dying.
So you look around over and you see that everything is still there. Your companions are still there, and they are locked, frozen in place, not moving a muscle.
We'll move,
Riken in mid bellow.
I'll move forward and I'll just kind of like poke at them and just
Ezra
what's
will get up and
what?
the sword's back out, just out of kind of panic. Not panic, but preparedness.
All
Like
right.
Ezra,
Yep.
what's going on?
Uh,
Is there something out there?
all right, I'm gonna go try to run over to a window and see if I can see where the Black Hammer guys flew off to. If they're coming back.
You look outside and you look around and you can see a windblown feather locked in the air, unmoving next to the tower. You look down and around and you can see everything just fine, but nothing's moving
Uh,
at
looks
all.
like the whole world's frozen.
It's a Luma.
Luma is also frozen.
Okay.
Not good.
Zephyros! Zephyros!
No reply.
I'll hesitantly approach that gravity pillar and see if the gravity thing's still working.
It
So lets me
is non functional.
fly. All right.
The only thing that is got any
Go
life to it all, actually, is that branch lying in the center of the floor. It's kind of glowing softly.
Israel,
Uh,
hang on for a second. I'm going to go. I'm going to rush over to the orbs and touch and see if I can talk to. I forget her name.
we can't get to that
Lala.
floor.
The
We're
orbs are
still on the top
downstairs.
floor.
Oh, I can't go down.
Nope.
Okay.
And it falls at giants ceilings
Yep. All
length.
right. And I can't wild shape, so at least Olver doesn't think he can.
And I
Right,
can't
right now,
dimension.
you guys would not have. I told you could take your hit points
Yeah.
back. This would not have
Yeah.
happened yet.
Okay.
You're
All
still
right.
at the same state you were before at this moment.
All right. Well then, the only thing that we got is this glowing stick, huh?
Yeah. You
All
want to touch
right.
it on 3?
Support key.
Ben quickly writes that
That is,
down.
that's exactly what this is. I bet you, Ben.
What?
So,
I did nothing.
all right,
Oh, I should
on
warn
three.
you that since I was able to put work into this, I put references in it too.
So this is it.
No, well,
Oh, come
unintentional,
on.
but yes. Unintentional is
All right.
still fun. I could still give you rewards for unintentional.
All right. So on three. Wait, on three or 1, 2, 3, then
Ezra
touch.
catches it.
Crap! And yeah,
So you
I touch it.
grab a hold of the branch, and yes, instantly, poof, everything goes dark for a second, and then relights, and you find yourself standing at the top of a pair of stairs across from each other, further apart than when you were just a moment ago. The branch is not in your hands. Instead, you see it lying over in the center of a grassy area, a ring of stone surrounding it, with um, nine, or no, eight, sorry, eight large thrones spaced around the circle. Beyond that, you can see an even larger throne set in the far uh, right side of the map there in the distance.
So
Standing
can I
in.
try to figure out
Sorry,
if
go ahead.
I was just wondering if I could figure out if I'm on the same plane.
How would you go about doing that?
Well, basically, do I recognize this as?
You've never seen stonework like this before.
All right.
There are no windows that you can see to see out anywhere.
It's just a
But
yeah.
standing in
All
a
right.
smaller stone ring close to you is cropping the grass is a white unicorn with bright blue eyes and a golden fluted horn.
Hmm. Ezra is gonna quickly dismiss his sword that he had out, just to not agitate the unicorn. Doesn't feel he's ready to deal with that right now.
So Olver would like to kind of figure out what just happened. Kind of reaching out a little bit with his, sense of balance. Is there anything weird going on here that he could sense?
Your senses tell you that you are quite possibly in an area of extreme balance.
Brain balance. Okay.
The area here feels more balanced than anything you've ever felt before. Unnatural in its balance, as it were.
So is it unsettling? Like that kind of, or just
No, honestly, you would feel very, very comforted.
okay?
Ezra, less so.
Ezra, look,
Yeah.
this is awesome. What
Is it?
just happened? No, this is awesome. I'm telling you, this is great.
Uh,
Never
okay.
seen anything like this before.
Look, I've only gone through one teleporting thing before. It was kind of terrifying. So,
Did it look like this?
nah, it was darker.
I mean,
I mean, you saw me go into it. It was the rift in the crystal cave.
I didn't. I was somewhere else actually.
Uh,
I don't
well,
know. There's something about this place. I'll look over at the unicorn and kind of start approaching very slowly towards it.
As you step up higher onto the round area, the raised stone that's closer to the unicorn turns and looks at you. And from that vantage point, that would be about here.
Okay. I'll reach out my mind towards the unicorn, not knowing if this was going to work or not, but
Okay.
just. Oh, go ahead.
You reach out with your mind towards the unicorn. As you do so, the unicorn lowers its head, points its horn directly at you, and blows a flat, ugly note through its horn.
Okay. I'll step back, hands up.
Beyond the unicorn, from this greater height vantage, you can see that the individual thrones sitting around the circle to the right are all different looking. You can see one that seems to be completely composed of ice, another one that seems to almost be flowing water. You can see one that's made of bone, another one that crackles with lightning. There is yet another that is a simple bench with no back. And then you see uh, another one that is looks like it was formed directly from a tree. The one next to that seems to be made of earth and stone, almost natural in its appearance. And the last one just seems to be almost like a standing, resting device of some kind meant for you to be able to place your arms on and stand in place. It's ornate and made of various plants and trees.
I'm
Oliver's
gonna
not
get.
sure what to do here.
I'll get up next to Olver, just so this thing doesn't feel entirely threatened by us.
The
Like we're
unicorn
fighting.
eyes both of you and then turns and begins to uh, walk slowly away towards the greater circle.
Think it's leading us.
Do you follow it when it begins moving away?
We'll let it get a little
Yeah.
farther.
Yeah, let it go a bit and we'll see what happens.
It's as its hooves strike the stone in the center passageway, it stops and then turns and looks over its shoulder towards you and then blows a note through its horn once again. This one sounds inquisitive. You're not sure how you know that the unicorn is asking a question with its music, but you do. Both of you do.
Before I start moving, does any of this look familiar at all to Olver in any way, shape, or form? Not like he's been here before, but
Make a religion check.
okay. Nope.
Yeah. Looking around, the space that you're in resembles temple grounds. You know, like in the interior of a temple,
Mhm.
but you're not familiar with the stonework or any of the artistry that you see around. There's various symbols and places, but you're kind of wowed by just the majesty of the location, and the unicorn is still waiting for you, so you're distracted.
Okay. I'll move forward then, since I apparently don't recognize anything.
I'm following, not that far behind.
And the unicorn begins moving again as soon as you get within 10 feet of it.
Yeah, and I'll just keep that distance between.
And it just walks sedately up, steps up over the stone ring into the higher grass covered area here, and continues to walk over this way. As it does so, it turns slightly and heads towards the bench, the simple bench. It stands in front of the bench and then turns broadside to you and eyes you both as you stand in the center, and then it blows a short, sharp note when you reach the center.
Yeah. I think that means we stay here. Maybe.
Yeah. Um,
And then the
sounds good.
unicorn fuzzes, the air around it fuzzes, and a mist grows quickly in the area and then fades away again. And you see standing in its place a magnificent young woman with startlingly blue eyes and just a small little nub of a horn on her forehead. She sits sedately at the on the bench and then nods her head at you slowly. And all of a sudden, you realize there are two chairs right behind you that you may sit in.
I'll sit down.
I'll follow suit and sit with him.
As you sit down, you feel a cold breeze blow across you from the ice cold throne. Glancing over, you suddenly see a figure materialize out of the air. A creature that seems to be almost entirely formed of ice. A female in figure. She sits down kind of gruffly and then says out loud to you, "Let's hurry this along. I've better things to do than waste my time with these mortals." Right after that, as you're still trying to gauge what all that meant, next to her you see the watery throne disgorge a section of water that quickly forms into another woman. This woman is dark. She seems composed partially of water and other. Uh, Actually, I should try to give you guys a zoomed in view of these here. There's that one. You see it?
Yeah.
And then the second one, you can see that her flaring dress seems to be made of seaweed, and her armor seems to be made of like crab like chitin or bone. His glowing eyes, and seems to she as she sits down, she plays with a globe of water that rotates and flows over her skin and then back out again. She looks at the two of you with pure, unadulterated hatred. You can see it burning in her eyes. The next chair next to her is made entirely of bone, and as the last creature seems to settle herself on her watery throne, there's a howl that splits out of the air around you, and a creature crawls from behind the throne up into view. And you see a red-headed werewolf climb over the seat and stand in front of it, saliva dripping from its jowls as it uh, kind of does a snarling smile in your direction. It sniffs the air. And that is what this one looks like. And this creature sits down and says nothing. Sorry, I had to check my notes there real quick. The throne sitting next to this creature has been crackling with lightning this entire time. It crackles louder after that creature settles. There's a boom of thunder, and a lightning bolt jumps out of the ceiling and hits the throne. And all at once, standing before it, you see a man with an eye patch over one eye. His right eye covered by an eye patch, a Viking helm with one of the horns broken away, golden armor, and a golden lance. He looks at the pair of you and grins and says, "You've done well. I look forward to the chaos your actions in the future will bring." And he sits down. Seems happy. The woman that has been silent this entire time that led you here and apparently was a unicorn turns from the last man, kind of shakes her head, looks at you, the two of you, and then glances over at the seat next to her as another figure appears sitting in front of it, this time sitting on the actual seat here, which is composed entirely of a tree grown into the shape of a throne. She looks at the party, and you can see intelligence, but also something else. And as you look at her, she turns away shyly and looks towards the woman that was once a unicorn. The seat next to her, composed entirely of rock, there's a rumbling noise as the earth around it rises up, and a woman appears out of this. You see, as it forms together, plants grow hair and clothing and various asunder other accoutrements, and in her hand is a scythe. And she wears a crown made of branches and is holding an apple in her hand, which she looks at and then sets aside, looking at the party.
Uh-oh. Although Ezra doesn't know, David knows what that is.
And she looks down at you and she says, "Welcome, young Druid. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome to the meeting hall of the gods."
She's the first one to get me to wave back.
She's a what?
I'm I'm glad that you have finally arrived. Oh, it looks like we're still waiting for Sylvanus. I'm sure he'll be here shortly. There you have Aril, who she indicates, the woman all covered in ice. Seems to be made out of ice. Ice for hair. Some call her the Frost Maiden. Perhaps you know her by that name. Sitting next to her, you see Umberlee. Uh, lovingly called the Bitch Queen, right, Umberlee? Umberlee just snarls, and you can see that her mouth is filled with shark's teeth. And then we have Malar, the Beast Lord, God of Lycanthropes. The werewolf just snarls in return. And of course, Talos, Lord of Thunder. Talos laughs, and you see lightning jump across his body. And Miliki, the Forest Maiden, Goddess of Unicorns. And Eldath. Eldath, you've chosen, what, Dryad today, I believe? That's interesting. Oh, don't mind her, she doesn't speak much. Where is Sylvanus? And at that moment, a tree sprouts right in front of the last little standing throne that I mentioned before. And you see a tree quickly form out of it. And the creature that you then see is, well, he's a lot like a treant. Think Treebeard here. He has glowing red eyes, though, and he turns and stands into his place. He looks down at the two of you, and he kind of grumbles a little to himself under his breath. And then he says, I did not like your plan to use this tree in the first place. I listened as the trees and wildlife for miles screamed out in agony and then died. I blame myself as much as you for what has happened, but nothing will ever grow in that spot again, I fear. And the woman says, and that is Sylvanus. I'm afraid he's not real happy with you. My name is Shantae. Welcome, mortals, to the Council of the Gods.
I will just nod and like be wide-eyed and kind of crap in my pants a little bit.
Ezra has a big smile on his face, kind of nudging over. Kind of a subtle, this is kind of awesome.
Well, we do have one more appearance that might or might not appear, but I am afraid none know what Ao will do or not do. His chair remains empty for the time being. So, mortals, what have you to say for yourselves? That branch that lies at your feet was part of a very elaborate plan that we created, and you have spoiled it quite well.
Yes, about that. We didn't know exactly how to extract the branch without, but we didn't know what was going to happen. We did our best to try and not do any damage, but what we did was obviously wrong.
We have powerful enemies, and we needed an equally powerful weapon that could be, this branch could be used to repair in order to stop.
Shantae kind of nods her head as you speak, and then she starts to say something, and Auril cuts her off and says, she makes a swiping motion with her hand. You can see ice shards shoot out and spray in a line right next to you. You're piercing the ground. She says, I don't think you understand, mortals. You have disrupted the very fabric of our world with your actions. The chill of death would be a fitting reward. And Shantea makes a shushing motion, like, just calm down. Says, yes, yes, Oral. We've heard that already. We're here to find out a little more first. And then we'll see about, the chilling and the death and all of that.
Olver hard swallows. Look, whatever you want to know, we'll tell you everything we do know. But I'm afraid we may not know everything. We were looking for a means to prevent, as my friend here said, a great evil. And in our attempt to find this item, this branch, we inadvertently destroyed the entire forest around us. I don't even know how far it goes, but I felt the imbalance. I felt the loss as soon as it happened.
Well, unfortunately, it goes for quite some distance, young druid. However, I think that perhaps this little story might help you understand. You see, we created that tree, myself and some of the other nature gods, as a way of capturing chaos and locking it into that location. I'm sure you noticed the chaotic energies in the area.
Oh, yes, we did. It really confused me to see such chaos and yet this magnificent tree in the middle of in the midst of all of it, and nothing coming to harm.
Well, does it make sense to you now, mortal?
I suppose it does.
Well, did you ever think that perhaps you should try to find out a few things before you, I don't know, chopped a bit off of the tree?
Well, hindsight, yes, but at the time we had no idea that there would be any kind of consequences like this, that it would cause that kind of damage and destruction.
I
It
don't
is our fault. I admit that completely, but
I
we
don't
still
mean to
didn't
change the
understand.
subject, but you said this is meant to contain chaos. So do you believe that although the branch is separated from the tree, it still could contain chaos?
The branch is still functional, yes, and therein lies our only hope. And Talos, at that point, kind of laughs gruffly. Whatever. And kind of grumbles to himself a little bit more and then is silent as a couple of the other gods seem to stare at him. And he falls silent under their gaze. So, we'll get to that in a moment. I was wondering, do you know what happened when you destroyed our keystone?
Not entirely.
Well, uh, I'm not sure. Have you heard the story of Pandora's box?
I have, yes.
All right. So, that's a good way to think of it. When you destroyed the tree, you broke the anchoring power that kept the chaos there. And each part of that chaos then zipped along off to some other place, some other location, perhaps even some other time. And there it will cause wanton destruction, undoubtedly. And Talos at that point grins and he goes, yeah, I wish I could be there to see it. And then he gets quiet again as everybody once again stares him down.
Is there no way to recreate something like this? You created it before. Is it not possible now?
Well, we could certainly make a keystone in another location, but that location was, of course, the best. Why do you think we chose it? And I'm afraid chaos is a little harder to catch than you might think.
Hmm.
Not to mention, there's a little bit of an obligation on your shoulders now, isn't there?
Suppose there is. What do we need to do to make this right? Or at least attempt to make it as right as we can?
Well, I don't know, actually. I am, of course, but one aspect. I can tell you this, mortals, and her eyes turn white as she begins to speak this next verse. The sky weeps, the earth groans, the fields tremble, and the mountains quake for what has happened. But all things pass, and we may yet find good to come of what has occurred here this day. And then her eyes turn back, more of a silky green. And she goes, yes, there is hope yet. But I believe that you are the key to that hope. And the other gods have reluctantly agreed with me. Talos, at that point, kind of grunts again, laughs. Ah, yeah, agreed. Right, right. And you can look around real quick. You see Malar is currently chewing on a bone. Umberlee seems to be staring into your soul with blood red eyes. Auril is distracted by creating snowflakes and then smashing them. Miliki is watching you. Eldath is watching you. And Sylvanus is watching you. And you're pretty sure he hates you.
If we are to be the key of whatever it is that must be done, what can we do?
Well, I think at first you must ask questions of these gods. It's a council, after all, and mayhap they will be able to reveal more than I have so far. I can only tell you that the different chaotic energies have spread throughout the world and even across the timeline, which is most disturbing, as you can imagine. We don't know what effect it will have if left alone. Perhaps speaking to the other gods and asking them questions will reveal greater information. I can only tell you that I am happy to let you continue this course for now. So speak to these other gods, and may they give you the course that is necessary.
All right. I will turn to Sylvanus. You
Okay.
say that you do not believe that this that the forest, the land, can be restored again. Are you certain of this, or is this your fear?
It is certain the land will not be restored without restoring first that which was lost.
So it can be restored. It's possible.
It cannot, not without restoring that which was broken.
And you mean the tree itself?
The tree is part of the forest, and the forest is part of the land, and the land is part of all. You must restore all.
Is this branch that we have, is that part of the key to bringing it back?
I am not wholly sure, but it might restore nature to balance at some point, and I will support its use.
Thank you, sir. Ezra, you got
Did you learn
something?
anything from that?
I mean, a little bit. A little bit.
Hey, just let me check real quick. What do you think so far?
Oh, that we're fucked.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, but are you having fun? That's the whole goal
Yeah.
of this. So, are you having
I'm
fun?
trying to think of a good way to phrase my questions because Ezra is a very single-minded dude when it comes to power. So I'm trying to how to figure out how to ask this,
Okay,
or which one of them I should ask about this. I thought Talos, but I'm like, nah, he's gonna be a dick about it.
just
Maybe I'll. All right, I'll go, also go for Sylvanas.
okay.
Although I understand that the taking of this branch has caused you a great deal of chaos to be unleashed, I wish for you to know that the being that I am attempting to stop with this is known as Nuratog the Vile. He has caused a good friend of mine a great deal of pain, and I needed a weapon that could stop a demon prince.
Sylvanas watches you as you finish speaking. Seems to contemplate. Raises a hand to his chin. Looks down a bit. Looks up at you and says, "If you anger the spirit of the forest, you will find the forest a dark and forbidding place."
The I don't believe we'll see eye to eye on this, but if Nuratog is unleashed, I don't think there'll be any forests left. So I can't be fully convinced yet to put this back.
Mm. There is no way to put that back.
Then I can at least make use of it to stop any further destruction.
That is only part of its purpose.
What is the other part of its purpose then?
I am not wholly sure. I believe it can help restore nature to balance, and I will support your use of it.
Well, got permission from the big tree man himself to use it at least. It's something.
I did warn you that this was going to be a largely role playing thing,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
gonna have to put your thinking caps on, boys. Although I don't see how you can fail, but yeah, we'll see.
You underestimate us. We can fail.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
I
are
am
epic in
fully
failure.
aware of the ability of the player to go off down the rabbit hole. So
We start throwing curses. We can win this. We can take them.
I have a plan for that eventuality, just so you know.
You just us.
I did think of it at least.
Talos, chaos seems to be something you are very much appreciative of. What has this done for, I guess, are you enjoying the chaos that destroying the forest and the tree has created?
He looks up at you and grins widely, kind of holds up his hand. You can see lightning forming into something in it, and then he's holding a dagger, which he then begins to pick at his fingernails with. And he goes, I know, right? It's marvelous. I cannot wait to see how many civilizations burn because of your amazing actions.
Does that mean you helped? You did not help create this tree in the first place?
Oh, I helped a little bit. I added a little bit here and a little bit there. Shantae
What?
speaks up. He did almost nothing. I did my part. It's what you asked of me, at least.
Why did you do it?
Well, at the time, chaos was a little rampant. I'll admit that if it goes a little too far, then there isn't any fun left.
I assume you have plenty of followers.
Of course.
How do you feel about them dying and losing followers
Oh, I
in
can
Lord of
protect them. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. I don't care.
So you like creating pockets of order? You're a very orderly man.
No, I'm not.
Ezra just chuckles to himself.
How dare you say that?
And now he's full on laughing. Sorry, just a little chaos.
That's exactly how you do it. A little bit here, a little bit there, and then you watch
Ezra
it
starts laughing
grow.
even harder at this.
And it grows and it grows, and you watch it scale out of control until everything is. Shantaea's like, Talos. And he's like, right, I know. Not everything is supposed to burn. Just some of it. Some of it burns. Not everything, but definitely half of it. No, 3/4 of it burns. No, half of it burns. No, quarter of it burns. Ah, fine. And he mumbles to himself. Continues to mumble to himself. Talos is the fun guy, but he's a little overzealous. Now, keep in mind, I am not trying to keep these in line with the actual gods and goddesses of the Forgotten Realms. This is what I'm doing with them.
Loose interpretation.
I thought
And
it
I'm
was
into
more
it.
fun this way.
Because I'm pretty sure that red-haired lycanthrope would not be chill right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, getting them all in the same room would be near impossible in the real game, the real world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're taking some creative license here. At least it's not as bad as certain shows on TV these days.
Low-key burn. All right. Well, I honestly don't think I can talk to the lycanthrope. We might need someone who could talk to beasts.
I think you underestimate his ability.
And Talos looks up and says, "Oh, he can talk if he wants to. Do you
Can leave
want to
his-
talk, Mela? Do you want to talk, Mela? Do you? Do you want to talk? Mela wants to talk." Malar looks up and snarls at Talos. And then he says in a very prim voice, you're not sure how he's enunciating these words. He says, "Were I to invoke logic, logic clearly dictates that the need of the many outweighs the need of the few."
Hey, he's with us.
I am not sure what to do with that right now.
We'll
Not
process
gonna
that.
lie. Yeah.
Well, you guys are laughing. You must be having fun. That's all I care about. I had a lot of fun making this, so we'll see. Not all of my ideas pan out, though, so I'm used to that, too. Well, come on then.
So,
The gods are
Mela,
staring at you. Well,
yes,
actually, only like a couple of them are staring at you. The other ones are bored.
Mela, so logic is your area of expertise. Um, what logically would be the right course of action for us to take in order to restore the balance and to rein in the chaos?
Hmm, I don't know. I don't know. I suppose that depends. Perhaps you should, you know, put everything back. And, oh, not all at once, of course, and not instantly, to be sure.
You mean to put everything back? All that the entire tree, even the grass around it, disintegrated and blew away. Are we to find each grain that blew away and bring it back? Is that what you mean?
No, 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 you misinterpret my words, mortal.
Forgive me. Please educate me. I'm a poor, stupid druid.
Well, if you want my honest opinion, I think that we should just kill you and eat you and have done. But there are others that have other opinions, and I cannot rule over them. So, here we are.
Maliki, you've been rather quiet in all this. Are you the one that brought us here specifically?
Miliki looks up at you, and then she glances over at Shantae, and then she glances back at you. And Shantae says, "Oh, Maliki, she really doesn't talk.
Hmm.
If she has something to say, I'm sure I could let you know. She she doesn't really speak to mortals. I'm sorry. I mean,
Ouch. Okay.
if you want to converse with her, I might be able to convince her to revert to her unicorn form. She seems to be a little more able to communicate with your kind that way."
Hmm. I was mostly wondering if you had anything specific to add. It's all right. You can continue to relax for now. I'll let you know if I have any specific question.
Maliki looks over at Shantea. Shantea looks over at Maliki, and they seem to study each other's eyes for a little bit. And then Shantea goes, "No, she doesn't have anything to add. She just feels sorry for you, I guess."
Hmm. We are a sorry lot. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the ice woman's name.
Uh,
It's
Arrow.
Arl. Here, I'll toss their
Yeah.
Cool.
stuff in there. So starting at the bottom left and going around the circle counterclockwise. Do do do. And then there's Umberly next to her. And then Malar. And then Talos, which I think you've got that one down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I know. I know
I'm
two of
still
them.
gonna put them
Or
on there in
three.
order so that you know the order. And then Melike. Where is she? There she is. Eldath. Oh. I don't think I mentioned this about Eldath, but you can see through her. So there you are, you can see through her. And then Shantea, which I'm sure you've got that one down too. And then Sylvanas is last.
All right. So for Arl, the good friend of mine that died a while back, his name was Rakaris. He was also a master of ice in his own plane, the Shadowfell. Did you ever know him?
She kind of glances up and looks over your direction and blinks a couple of times and says, "What was that, mortal? I'm truly very sorry. I grew annoyed by your little mouse squeaks and chose to close my ears with ice." She shakes her head and fine pieces of ice scatter from about her head, and then she turns back towards you and frowns. "No, I do not mean it. I am not sorry." And then she goes back to playing with her fingernails.
All right. I'll lean over to Olver. My master was the better master of ice. Or my friend was the better master of ice. He was a lot nicer.
Olver is not reacting to it.
I'm just towing a fine line right now.
Yeah, you are.
Who haven't I insulted yet? Umberly. How can I insult Umberly?
Jeez.
I I didn't want to make them all good gods. That's too boring.
No.
Okay, what you doing?
Okay. I think Shantae.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how to form it.
The thing is, each one of them only has their set of information, so like.
As a general question to the group, what made you all choose to contain chaos instead of destroying it?
Talos says, "Well, at one point, things got, a bit out of control, and it looked like maybe the entire planet was gonna, I don't know, explode or something. And so we decided to create something to contain the worst of it."
Exactly. You contained it. Could you not have destroyed it?
Well, yes, I'm sure we could have, right? Right? Yeah, we could have done that. But we thought it was better, to contain it in case there was a use for it later or something.
That means you've had the intention to release it at some point, anyways.
Not necessarily. You never
Insight
know.
check. Insight check.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, I
Everyone
know.
else doesn't know. Talos is like, yeah, we're gonna let it out at some point.
Go ahead and inside him if you want. I don't care.
Oh, okay. I'll do it.
You can
He's just
always
gonna
roll.
fail whenever you roll.
Fail miserably. Actually, it's not that bad, but
You actually do get a little bit of insight into this. You get the feeling that the gods, while powerful, are not all powerful.
okay. Tuck that away for the moment.
We can take him.
You know the old adage: if they got hit points, you can kill them.
Somewhat true. Whether or not it stays dead is another thing entirely.
Hey, that's a question for.
there's a chance we're on their plane. We can put him down for good.
All right, to Shantae. The
You know what's always a bad sign? When the
what's that?
DM didn't give him hit points.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know this. Oh,
Because
you're
that
so
means one
meta.
of two things. Either if you hit them, they're just gonna die, or hitting them's just gonna piss them off.
I feel like nudging Ezra and is like Eldritch Blast.
It's always worked before.
Nothing bad has
Alabaster,
ever
Megan,
happened.
and Ido are just like, hey, where'd Ezra and Olver go? And you're never seen again.
Bodies just get dropped back on tower.
Oh, I just forgot what I was going to ask or how I was going. Uh, I guess my question for you is, with the balance of nature and all that is going on, with chaos being released, not just upon the land, but even in different times.
Why do I not
What
have
do you see?
Joaquin out here?
What's that?
I don't have a token for Joaquin. Holy crap. Okay, keep going. Sorry. Give me a
Okay.
second.
What? Wow, I just forgot what I was going to say.
It's okay. It's not as bad as me
Chaos.
screwing up and not putting a god out there.
Just late. That's all. They're just late. It's
There's
fine.
just one chair.
Okay.
What is the best course of action that you can see? What is it that we can do to help restore the land and rein in this chaos?
Okay, give me a second. I've got an answer for that, but I want to get this
Sure.
first.
Sure, absolutely.
Did I
I'm
download
just
her
glad
and
to get
it's
it out.
not upload her? Or what the? How did I? Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Okay. Um. Huh. Crazy. And upload. Probably. There we go. Cannot believe I did not put her out there. All right. As you are doing that, or when you finish your question, Shantea speaks up and says, well, I'm not sure, but we were hoping that perhaps you mortals would give us some insight. And Umber Lee speaks up at that point. The first time she's spoken. I think that they should go get all of the chaos themselves and bring it back here to us.
Is this wrong to think that this isn't possible? Is this branch not capable of of at least doing some of that.
Shantea seems to think for a second, and as she does
Oh,
so,
I'm saying that to Umberly,
oh, to Umberly.
actually. Yeah, yeah.
Umberly just looks at you, and you see her mouth split wide across her face as her shark's teeth glint in the light. Her red eyes stare down at you. And then she just says, I certainly would like to see you try.
Sounds like it's a no.
And at that moment, golden light suffuses the edge of the area, and you see a woman appear, dressed all about in gold cloth and jewels. She's quite possibly the most richly dressed woman you've ever seen. And she steps over to the edge of the area and says, oh, it's nice of you to start without me. I mean, am I not important here? You all just went on without me. They all look over her and go, oh, it's Joaquin, says Talos. Maliki goes, gets up and steps over to the side, and her bench reforms over here, closer to Eldath, and Eldath kind of looks over at her like she's encroaching on her territory, and then Joaquin goes, very good, thank you, Maliki, and steps up here, and you see a pure gold throne rise up out of the ground. And she turns and sits in it, and then looks over at you. So, what did I miss?
We were in
Well,
This was not
trouble.
planned this way.
Well, we took this tree branch to form a weapon to kill a demon prince and probably some other awful things. Turns out, I'm sure you know this bit, released a bunch of chaos. We're trying to do damage control. How can we contain this chaos?
Oh,
I think that's generally the gist of it.
well, I don't know, but maybe you mortals do not understand what you have done. Millennia from now, the effects of will still be felt for your unwise and unthoughtful transgressions. Tradeways blocked, profitable fields that will never grow again. Would that AO would allow me to just snuff you out as you did so much profit. She glances back towards the empty chair and says, oh, he's not here. Turns around and grins at you. At which point, you see stars form over the giant chair in the background and then grow together, making a strange looking figure that appears and
What?
looks at the party.
Ayo's here.
What?
Oh my god, we fucked up.
We are so dead.
And then Joaquin looks back and goes, oh, never mind, forget that idea.
I think Olvers mildly.
One more person for you to
Happier?
question. Aren't you thankful?
Do you question Ao? I
You
don't
can have
know.
whatever you
I
want.
didn't mean him. I meant Joaquin, but
Okay.
there we go. More rounded. I can't believe I forgot Joaquin. She was one of my favorites that I made.
Oliver decidedly has nothing in common with that particular deity at all. Not one bit. I mean, if he could look down at a god, that's the one he would look down on.
All right. So Ezra's not the most religious person, so I decided to roll that. Ezra has no idea who the fuck AO is, so he's just gonna wave.
The figure in the back raises a start hand and waves back.
Nice.
Welcome
I
to the
mean,
fun episode.
do I know? Does Olver know any of these?
uh,
I would imagine Malar would be one that I would definitely know about.
You would know Sylvanas,
Absolutely about him.
100%.
I mean, make another religion check. See if you know who AO is. He's not that common, so he's not like a household figure.
A little background. 17.
I mean, you've heard that there's an over god, but you didn't think you were ever going to see him.
I'm just gonna lean over and kind of clue Ezra in. Yeah, he's like their god, kind of.
Huh. Didn't know they had one.
I don't know if that's how it works, but
Think I
that's
can get him to sign
I
my
don't know.
sword? And I'm going to say that in a bit of a stage whisper so everyone can hear it.
Hey, at least it gives you one more person to ask questions of. I mean, Joaquin, not AO.
Is there a way you could transport us to these chaotic fake beings to try to help us contain them?
Who are you asking?
I'll ask Joaquin just because she's new here.
She seems to think about it for a second. And then she says, well, like the 208th rule of acquisition states, sometimes the only thing more dangerous than a question is the answer.
Oh my god.
All right,
Also,
yeah,
rules of
come on,
acquisitions. Some
come
DS9
on.
there.
Yeah.
To be fair, I said Ferengi first. I said it.
You
I
know,
said it. It's in the. It's in there.
you're gonna get some
I
like
mean,
money.
I could be in trouble if anybody actually listened to our things because I made one of the goddesses a Ferengi.
I mean,
But
gold one.
if I was gonna pick a god to be like it, it would be her.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
she should be covered in latinum, but
Platinum
Yep.
isn't. Oh, hey, platinum.
Platinum, close enough. Yep. There you go. Maybe they don't pronounce the P.
You never knew.
It's a cultural thing.
problem is latinum's liquid. You gotta press it in the gold container. That's why it's gold pressed platinum.
We could certainly send you where you want to go. I'm not sure you would enjoy it, but you could go.
So I've
Well,
been hearing that the branch has it's partially the key to all of this. What needs to be done with this branch? Is it able to do anything on its own now, or there are things we need to prepare it to be able to help?
All right. To this question, Sylvanus speaks up and says, we have separated the branch that you hold from the branch that was actually shorn from the tree. They are two separate entities. One is what you hold, and is the key, the anchor, as it were. And the other is the branch that you have back on the prime material plane. That branch holds power, but not the key. The key must stay locked here in this moment in time.
How do we fulfill, I guess, how do we make sure that the branch is able to fulfill its purpose?
The branch, when subjected to an area of chaos, will simply absorb it. It is going to be getting to the chaos that you may find challenging. It is an excellent idea, mortals. You can go and find this chaos and channel it into the branch and bring it back here piece by piece.
In order to channel this chaos into the branch, how would we do that?
As I said, mortal, the branch will simply absorb it when it gets within a short enough distance from it. You need do nothing but bring it within reach.
Okay, I think I understand then.
I certainly hope so. Huh. Sorry.
I know Huffy there.
Sylvan is he's kind of an asshole.
That gives us a lot more information there than almost anything else that we've gotten so far.
Malar actually speaks up now on his own. He says, "Now wait a minute. How do we know that these mortals could even do it? We could send them off with the keystone and they could, get killed or something messy, eaten perhaps, and we would never see it again." You see a couple of the other gods actually look over, and Joaquin in particular kind of nods her head and says, she sniffs and she goes, "Well, I certainly do not believe that they are strong enough." And Shantea then speaks up and says, wait a minute, wait a minute. I think they're pretty good. They made it through all that chaos to get to the tree in the first place.
Ezra, under his breath, is going to mumble, "Good enough to kill your tree."
And Malar kind of growls a little bit and says, "I know. We can test them."
Mm.
They all kind of look
Yeah.
around a little uneasily.
What does that mean exactly?
And Talos, you hear him kind of mutter under his breath. He says, "Ooh, exactly. Let them all burn."
If we burn, who else will be there to help? Do you have others that are stronger? Those that you are more willing to give it to?
Oh,
We are
that's not
here.
how I would do it. What are you talking about? I said nothing.
I'm saying to the group, to
Yeah,
everybody.
but
It's not
Talos
just
is defensive, so
okay. We're here.
if
We're willing to do whatever we can.
you succeed, says Sylvanus, then the forest, which could be a fearful place, may always offer you shade.
I will bow my head and
And Shantea says,
Thanks.
"The earth will bloom at the sound of your words." Joaquin says, "Well, where's the profit in that? You know, flattery will get you everywhere, but platinum will buy flattery."
May our actions bring wealth to the world.
And Malar says, "So we're agreed then? We get to test them? Or I get to test them, of course. None of you would dirty your hands with this, I am sure." And as he's speaking now, you see blood begin to drip from his jowls. You're not sure where it's coming from, but you also see it starting to cover his hands.
A
We can
little
take him.
disturbing. All right, what must
Oh.
we do?
Let's see this test of yours.
He goes, "Very well." And he holds out both of his hands, and the blood drips onto the ground. And you see a pair of creatures grow swiftly out of the blood.
Summoning sword.
Right. What are these creatures?
Werewolves.
Oh. No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you remember them.
Oh, those two. Oh my goodness. Killing me.
Glad Olver's in front of me.
All right,
Oh,
Ezra,
please.
you're up first.
Hold on a second. I'm not.
Please roll high on initiative.
What say you, gods? Are these acceptable to you? And mortals, is this an acceptable challenge?
Oliver gets up and steps back for a moment.
So Ezra gets his sword out, gets ready to fight, and Olver takes a step back. It's like, yeah, I got this.
And then Malar says, "These are pets, of course, but not quite domesticated."
Well, I know what that's like. We got some eaglets. They're a bit of a pain, but we love them anyways.
They've never been a pain ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I guess they never have mauled either of us. And attacking Riken is just a good thing. And we're just having this conversation while these werewolves are there.
Well, they're just sitting there, kind of slavering at the moment. What say you, mortals? Have you any questions before we begin? Have you any thoughts?
I'm just gonna put a curse on that one.
Well, you attempt to cast a spell, but nothing happens.
It's not a spell; it's a class feature.
It still doesn't happen.
Ah, hoping I could get something out early, but all right. I accept the test. That was me saying yes.
Well, that is good.
Right.
You are in a position to demand nothing. And I, on the other hand, am in a position to grant nothing. So we shall begin. And the werewolves look at each other and sniff a little bit back and forth. And then one of them turns and says one line, and then the other one says the second line, and then it goes back to the first one, back and forth, back and forth. They say, "To the last, I grapple with thee. From hell's heart, I stab at thee. For hate's sake, I spit my last breath at thee." And they attack. Roll initiative.
Hang on, I'll just message you with the thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you get it?
Oh, I said that to
Ah, okay.
I said it to Olver on accident.
You
Yep,
said
I
it
got it.
totally. Yeah, I don't see why you can't say it.
Oh, it's Moby Dick. I
It's
don't know why.
It's totally not,
it's
but
public. It's.
it's totally not Moby Dick. That's the fun part about it. So, I mean, that line might show up in Moby Dick, but that is not what
No
I.
hell's earnest,
I have been
haven't they?
referencing the same thing with about 10 lines so far, and you guys haven't gotten it yet. So, there have been about 10 lines I've said that are direct references of things, and you still haven't gotten it. At this point, I don't think you will. So, if you didn't get that one, you're not going to get it. And I'm kind of surprised that Wired did not get it. Like, I'm
I've been
actually
wholly
really
focused.
surprised.
I've been wholly focused on questions and all that, so all that has been going over my head.
That's okay. It's been fun, anyways. When I tell it to you, you're gonna groan. All right, so did you roll initiative? Okay, so I need to roll
I
initiative
did.
for these guys real quick.
Oh,
Uh,
mine.
Ezra needs to, yeah.
And that one. Get the tracker out.
Do these look like winter werewolves or just?
Ezra, you weren't selected on your token when you did it.
Yeah.
So just put your initiative in. You
Oh,
rolled the
I
same
rolled the
thing.
same number. Nice.
All right. Okay. So initiative start. We'll say that they stepped out while they were speaking their little lines. Okay, Olver, you're up. Go. So I had to
All right.
I had to really work out a way to throw combat in here. I got to tell you, like I was like, how can I put a fight in here? Test them.
All right, so I'm going to try something I haven't done yet, and I am going to summon Draconic Spirit. And I would like to summon, I think in this case, I am going to go with.
Oh, before you start, also,
Yeah.
little disco ball appears in the middle of the air over your heads.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Okay, that's fine. Um, okay, I was going
Those
to.
flashbacks. I'm going for the flashbacks.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you're serious about that, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, all right. Just double checking. So I'm gonna go with I think with psychic. Hope that's a good choice. So it's a gem dragon. Here,
Okay.
I'll post the spell in
Should have
VTT.
been a silver shadow dragon, but whatever.
There you go. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
So 50 hit points. Uh, can fly 60 feet.
You just need a dragon token.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's not huge or anything. It's only large, I think.
Any particular color?
Nah, I don't care. Whatever you got. Yeah, it's a large dragon, so not huge.
Oh, look at the little dragon sprite.
There you go.
Okay, and so I would have conjured the dragon. Let's see.
You have control of it.
I got to roll. Okay, and it's when does it go? Let's see where it's at. shares my initiative, but takes its turn immediately after mine. Okay. Um, and I am going to see. I would probably have it go back over here. It doesn't really matter. Just by me.
Like I said, you have control of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just have it right there. And then I probably can't get on it because that would take an action, correct?
How
To
big
get
is it?
on. It's large.
Well, then I have the size wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess my question is, am I able to get on the dragon using movement, or is that an action to do that?
Movement.
Okay.
As long
So I'd
as
like to get
it's
on.
not like too hard to get on.
I mean, I don't think so, but I don't really know. I'll let you be the judge of that. Up to you. All right. So what do you say?
I don't care. You can get on it.
Okay. Let me give its hit points as well.
By the way, Ezra, it didn't consume your ability to try to do it before the fight. It just didn't happen.
Okay.
Let's see. What's
Surrounded
this?
by this many deities, if they don't want you doing something, you ain't doing it.
14 plus the level of the spell, so that makes that 19 armor class.
This is gonna be really fun when we throw other people in here too. Because this is just like the intro, right? I'm not actually going to send you out on one of these missions yet. I'll have to make a mission for you to go on. Still, I mean, I made this, not a mission. So, but it'll be really fun for the other people. Like you already know all about this, and they'll be new. All right, so you're riding the dragon.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to show it, but okay, here we go. All right. So yes, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the dragon just fly up immediately. How tall is this chamber, by the way?
Um, it's about 40 feet.
Okay. So I will go ahead and just kind of keep on the far side, and I will wait for the next turn. And so the dragon, however, will do its thing. Sorry, first time using this. So looks like it will use its breath weapon attack
First
since
time
makes.
using this is just translated into I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, I'm using it out of the VTT, and it's a little bit different than what I'm used to looking at. So
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding everything. So multi attack,
And it's your fault for picking the spell. Got it.
and the dragon makes a number of rend attacks equal to half the spell's level, rounded down, so that's two, and it uses breath weapon. Okay, so I'm gonna keep its distance for now. It's only 50 hit points, and I think it's gonna get trashed. It gets too close at the moment, and I'm gonna use a breath weapon, which is psychic. Um, so it's structured in a 30-foot cone. So I will have the dragon come here and just get them both in that cone up in the air, and that would be 2d6 damage. And you got to make a spell DC save. So I'll go ahead and roll the damage. So 7. Seriously, I need to look at that in my sheet. It's just too hard to see it. Sorry about this.
No, it's fine.
A little more of a pain. Ah, so much easier. Okay. Where is it?
Man, my turn's gonna be a lot quicker than
I
Olvers.
know, right? I know. I can't find this.
Half the night.
It's my
Here
it's
we
my spell
are.
it's my spell save then is what it's got to be,
Yeah,
right?
more than likely.
Okay, so it's going to be a 16. Okay, sorry, my bad.
16. What skill was it?
Dexterity. They're super dexterous, aren't they? So this is going to be embarrassing. Oh yeah,
On both of them?
yeah, on both of them.
Okay.
Plus 11. You got to roll. Yeah, you got to roll so low. Holy crap. Okay, they save, so they will take half as much damage. So they're going to take 3
3
each.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and that's going to end the turn for now.
Okay.
So I'll just have them kind of circle back and kind of watch the battlefield here. I got
Oh
a
boy,
plan.
this is great.
Sorry, dude.
All right. Malar calls out, "Don't worry, they only bite a little bit." And the first werewolf at the end of your turn turns and jumps directly at the dragon spirit, attacking it
Okay.
in a leaping attack.
Yep.
14.
That does not hit.
Nice.
It's
So
got an
it
armor class of 19.
it tries to bite at the dragon like creature, which I believe you said was gemstone, right?
Yes,
And
yes, it is.
its teeth seem to rake across it, and it's just like doesn't have a lot of effect. At first, the werewolf seems confused, and then it backs away and looks up at you. The
I'll
other
just
one,
shrug. Sorry.
the other one also leaps directly at the dragon, since this is happening at the same time, and it is going to make a bite attack against the dragon itself.
I think Ezra goes
No, I
first.
go before it.
Yeah, yeah, he goes
Except for
before
they're
that.
using legendary actions.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So I did not say that before, but to save your confusion.
Yep, that makes sense.
27
And
to hit,
27. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a hit.
and the creature takes only 3 points of piercing damage.
It's okay. We can do that.
Have the dragon make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oof. Okay.
It drags its teeth across the creature, making little gouges, and then spits out little pieces of crystal, and then looks at the other werewolf, kind of slaps him on the side. The other one growls at him, like, "Look what I did! You didn't do nothing." You know.
So I think it's just a straight roll for Constitution on them. Yeah. So okay.
Rolled it.
Is it doing it?
Did a +3.
Holy. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, but it was a nat 20, so it doesn't really matter. All
Yeah.
right. So nothing happens. Now it is the regular werewolf's turn. This one is going to then attack your dragon.
Why do you hate dragons?
Using its claws Two separate attacks. 20 and
That first
15.
first one hits, second one does not.
Okay. So damage. 8 points of slashing damage this time as it rakes into the side of the dragon.
Okay.
Alright, and then we're going to move on to Ezra.
I'm going to use Banishing Smite on him. So I cast it as a bonus action, and then the next attack that hits, it goes off on.
Okay.
So let me link that real quick. It's Banishing Smite, and then I just make an attack roll. So first attack, 29.
29 will hit.
So it will deal a total of 16 damage from that,
Okay.
and then the Banishing Smite,
16 plus.
21. Now, if that reduces it,
47.
yes.
Okay.
If that reduces it to, or wait, 37.
37. I had it wrong.
Yeah, 37. If that reduced it to 50 or lower hit points, it's banished.
Okay. So
And that's the first.
37.
Yep.
It is going to uncanny dodge that.
No. It's a rogue.
They are. Yep. So you slice into the creature, which, with supernatural speed, you see it dodge the worst of the hit, but still take some, dropping it to not 50 hit points.
All right. And then that's the first attack. Second attack. 19 to hit.
Yeah, 19 hits.
And another 18 damage.
All right. Can't block that. I already used it. So you cut into the creature with a second savage blow. It snarls and turns towards you.
Man, I should just stick to using the sword. I'm so
Done?
much better with it than the spells. Yep, that's it for me.
All right. At the end of your turn, it's going to use another one of its points to just make a straight up attack against you, a bite attack. $28 to hit. I imagine that hits for 8 points of piercing damage, and you're going to need to make a con roll.
All right. Saving throw?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw. Sorry.
It's the same either way. 12.
You feel something start to come over you. And as it does, you force your will down and shrug it off, but just barely.
I almost became a werewolf, I'm guessing.
And and Malar from the side says, "Oh, I didn't say it was gonna be fair, now did it? Oh, I've given you no word to keep, mortals. In my judgment, you simply have no alternative." Alright, and then it is the other one's turn to use a point. And it is going to make another claw attack this time, since the bite didn't work against the dragon. 16 to hit.
It misses.
Nice. It's got good AC.
It does.
And then it is the werewolf's turn. That's that one. It is going to claw. So
28
11
hits.
and 28.
On the dragon again, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Second one hits.
So the first one, it slams its hand into the side of the dragon, yelps and pulls it back, actually inflicting. Go ahead and roll a d4 damage on itself.
Okay. 3.
Okay. The second claw, though, strikes home, dealing 7 points of slashing damage to your dragon.
Okay.
Oh. I need to re-roll the other hit. These guys have pack tactics, so they have advantage
Oh.
right now against you.
Oh.
So 14 still not going to hit though for
No.
the 11. I was rolling for the 11. So
Okay.
and I'll
So
re-roll.
are they able to jump up at me while I'm up in the air?
Yeah, they are jumping
Okay.
up to you
Okay.
very easily. In fact,
Okay. Just double checking.
I don't. I gave these guys the ability to go anywhere in here with ease on purpose, so they can spring load themselves, jump up, slash, and then jump back down. So that's their leap attack.
Okay.
Sorry if I didn't explain that before, but there you go.
I just want to make sure that if that wasn't how it was working, I just want to make sure you knew where I was at,
Mm-hmm.
and
And it's your
it's
turn.
all good. Okay. All right. So I am going. Oh, that's right. So Mailer's kind of interesting because he's feral, but also logical. At least he claims to be logical. And it's really weird that there's this shiny orb in the middle. So I want to kind of. No, there's not much I can do about it though. Um, yeah. Um, let's see what we can do here. Do some teamwork. So, there's not much I can do at the moment other than I can do a produce flame on these things, but that's about it where I'm at. So I'll go ahead and do that on the one that's been hit the most, which is the one next to Ezra.
Okay.
20
20 hits.
and only 5.
Okay. And you're dead.
And
Sorry, which one did you just hit? Is it the same one I've been hitting?
yes, yeah, I've been
Fine.
focusing on that one. Try to get it down as much as possible. Okay, and then yeah, that's it for me. The dragon will, I don't know. He's flying around, but we'll just keep him in this area because it doesn't really.
No, they can beam
Um,
at him no matter where he goes, and you can't leave the circle.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you had ever gotten close enough to the circle, you'd see a shimmering barrier appear as you got within a foot of it.
Okay. Quick question
Mm-hmm.
for something like this, and I don't know if you want to answer it or see what happens if I try it. If I were to move away from here, even though I'm not next to them, is that considered
No,
moving out of their area?
they are not
Okay.
considered within threat range of you. They're on the
Okay.
ground for most of the
All right.
time. They only leap to attack, and it
Okay. I
uses
just
the
want to
better
double
part of
check
their
because I didn't know
movement
if
to
that was
do that.
perfect. Okay. So then I will actually come around. Let's see. Let me come over here, see what happens.
Look,
And oh, there we go. And then yeah,
Olver
and
falls
so
to
this is
the
the
ground.
dragon's.
Splat.
Yeah, yeah. Oops. That spell's gone. No more dragons, just you, Ezra. Okay, and so then the dragon. Oh, as it's okay. I should do this before we move it out of there. I'm going to go ahead and have it do its claw attack.
Which means it will have to move into range.
Oh, that's right. That I don't think. Let me see how much that's going to be. If it's worth it. It's not a lot. You know, let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I would move into the same one's range that I've been hitting, and Ezra's been, and hit it for 2. It's the multi attack of 2 rend attacks. So uses my attack modifier to hit. This is really weird with these summonings. So it'll be my spell attack. Right? Am I reading that right? It's my spell attack. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So I'm just going to do a produce flame. We'll just use that. Or actually, I'll use the primal savagery because that's pretty close.
Call Olver, learn your spells.
I know, right? Jeez. So that's the first one, 20. And then the second one.
Seriously, though, if you want to use spells like this that are really complicated, make sure you learn them ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so 20s, I think that one is going to hit, correct?
20 will hit. Yep. 10
Okay.
will not.
And 10 will not. Okay.
Wait, yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
10's not going to hit. I was just making sure that wasn't a damage roll or something.
Yeah, no. Okay, 7 on the one next to Ezra. And then I think while I'm there, do that. I guess I would come around. So I was here. I would swoop down.
You'd have to swoop down to the right so that you didn't incur an attack by the other one as well.
Yeah. To the to the right.
Well, that's the one you're attacking,
I
is
mean,
the one on the right, right?
yeah.
So,
Oh, that's right.
otherwise, you're going to get hit
Okay,
by
yeah.
both of them. Or possibly,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah. So while I'm here,
And you'd have to
I would,
fly down.
yeah, and then swoop back up. So while I'm doing that, I would like to also do the breath weapon, and that way I can get those 2 without getting
Have you
Ezra.
rolled to recharge it?
Oh, that's right. Recharge, recharge, recharge.
You're supposed to do that at the beginning of the dragon's round. It's usually a d6 and then something on
Wait,
it.
I don't see where it says recharge.
I mean, dragons have recharge, so.
Yeah, I know. This is breath weapon.
Well, I don't,
Save
I,
have a
I don't see it on there, but I'm gonna rule that you need to
yeah.
make a roll. So it's a
Okay.
five. Generally, it's a 5 or 6 on a d6 at the beginning
All
of
right.
the dragon's turn.
Here it comes. So 3. So I didn't get it. So okay. So then I will just mosey on over to here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the summon has rules in it for that, but
Yeah.
it's a dragon, so it's getting the same rules.
Okay. No problem. All right, and then that would be its turn, and back up in the air again.
Okay. And I will roll the attack of opportunity.
Okay. She also gives. Oh yeah,
29 to
that'll hit.
hit
That'll do it.
for 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay. But that gives Ezra a moment if he wants to back away at least.
Not really. Well, yeah, because he used its reaction. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep.
Done.
Yep. Just giving him options. That's it. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to use its legendary action to make a claw attack. No. Make a bite attack against Ezra. 19 to hit.
That'll get me.
8 points of piercing damage and make your con save, please. 11 is a
11.
failure. So this time, when the teeth sink in, you feel something unnatural enter your bloodstream, and there's slight shifts throughout your body. It's a little bit of a tremble goes through you, and then it's gone. And Malar pops up and goes, "Ah, I've done far worse than kill you. I've cursed you. But I wish to go on hurting you." And then the other one is going to do a leap attack towards the dragon. Jumps, springs across the, closing the distance and slashing at you with its claws.
Misses.
12 and the second. Claw. 28
That
is going to
hits.
hit. 4, 8 points of slashing damage. And then
Okay.
thumps to the ground in that location. Alright. Then this werewolf's turn. This one is going to. It actually sniffs at the air in front of it for just a second, Ezra. Kind of whines at you and then jumps past you towards the draconic spirit. You do get an attack of opportunity.
All right.
Well, wait. Yeah, you do, because it's leaving your. It's going up. Otherwise, you wouldn't.
13.
13's going to miss. Just barely. Alright, so. Claw on the dragon. I think the 25 will hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
For 4 points of slashing damage, and then it lands right next to you, Ezra. Thump. Your turn.
All right. Yep, I'm gonna bonus action throw in my second banishing strike. Smite. 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
13 damage from that, and I heal 1.
Okay, it's going to uncanny dodge that.
Does that mean it just doesn't hit? Or are you doing half?
Just half damage.
Okay, so I still get the 1 life
Yep.
steal point back. And then another 27 force damage from Banishing Smite.
Oh, half of that is 12 then. Since it's in the same attack.
And if he's from below 50, he's banished.
So the banishing strike, as it starts to take effect, the werewolf lets loose a hideous howl as it starts to fade from existence, and it kind of wavers and then pops back into reality.
I hate legendary resistance so much.
Oh no.
All right. Crit on the next attack, though.
Nice. And it can't uncanny dodge it, so.
So 38 points of damage. How's that feel?
As it pops back into existence, you slam your sword into it. It's unprepared, and the weapon slices cleanly through, slicing the creature in half. Let's see. How much damage was it?
38.
Okay.
Wait, no, it's 40. I'm an idiot. And can't count.
Just keep adding numbers.
No, 14 plus 4 plus 2. That's 20. Doubled to 40. I'm just stupid.
There we go. Whatever, man. Whatever. It's dead. You killed it. It's dead. And Malar is like, ooh, that's gotta hurt. He licks his lips a little bit. And you see fresh blood still drooling out of his mouth. You done?
This guy's a dick. Yeah.
The other werewolf turns as its mate has died now. Lets loose a howl and charges towards you, Ezra. Letting loose a flurry of blows.
It's a monk.
In a way.
Rogue monk.
Yeah, that'll get me. That'll get me.
Boy.
That'll get me. That'll get me.
Ah.
This is the point when Ezra dies.
You're used to it.
It's a common occurrence.
Wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I did it right. Hey, look at that. I rolled crap on the crit.
So it's
1 and 1. I'm just going to double what's there. So,
Yeah.
4,
30.
6 for that one is all. It's only 2 more. Ouch.
It's like 2 good slaps worth.
and I already got cursed, so I'm not taking the con anymore, right?
What's that?
I'm already cursed, so I'm not rolling Constitution
It
saving
was,
throws.
it was using his claws. It just
Okay.
lit into you with his claws. That was its legendary action.
Yeah.
So, which were both of the points that it had left. So it is now its turn, right? Yep. So it is going to attack you again, clawing at you again, twice more. First
Yeah.
one is a crit fail. So go ahead and roll a d4. You catch the claws with your sword, blocking them and doing some slashing damage in the process.
2.
And then it hits you with 1, so another 7 points of slashing damage. And it is now Olver's turn.
Okay. Olver, not much he can do. I think best thing I can do at the moment is pump in some cure wounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a metamagic point to do that. I'll do it at 4th level. Give you what I can. 26. Go ahead and take 26 points back. That's my action. So, yeah. And then the dragon is going to, and I'm going to swoop down and attack it. Going to get as much use out of this as possible. So I'm going to take 2 swipes.
Okay.
Wait, was that healing for me or the dragon?
What's that?
Was that healing for me or the dragon?
For you.
Okay.
That's why,
Yeah,
that's
for
why
you.
he was using metamagic, because he's doing it over distance.
Okay, that. I just saw cure wounds. I'm like, you gotta be next to me for that.
I'm special.
Well, he does still have to be within a certain range. I mean,
Yeah,
which
you
I should be.
You were gonna fly down anyways, so I didn't.
Yeah,
figure
so
it was a problem.
it's one of those things where the dragon and I can literally be going at the exact same time, kind of narratively. So, yeah.
It makes
So,
more sense that way.
Yeah. So 2 slash attacks. I'm going to go ahead and roll those. The rend attacks. I'm sorry.
Okay.
First one, 19.
A 19 will hit.
And 14
so
will
the
miss.
14.
Oh, really? I thought that was going to miss.
No, I did not make these as strong as the other ones. That would be awful for you.
Yeah, no kidding. I was dreading this. Like, oh man, we're so
I gave
screwed.
them their abilities, but made them less tough in armor and stuff to lower their challenge rating. Because it was bad for like an entire party of you in the Tomb of Horrors. So
Yeah.
7.
Oh, and they both hit. So 7 and 6.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll. Oh, I got to roll for the breath weapon. By the way, I forgot that.
Hard to remember,
Uh,
isn't it?
got a 5,
Got it
so he
back.
gets it back then. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So that is to be breath weapon. So it's a dexterity save.
Okie dokie.
Got to beat 16,
That's not
and
going
I
to
will
be
roll
too
for
hard.
damage. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh.
Oh, you take the full 11.
Oh no.
I know, so terrible. Yeah, it's hardly taking any damage. And
I'll take it in anticipation of Ezra's.
and I think what I'm going to do is I am going to land the dragon
Okay.
right there, trying to give flanking
Uh,
for Ezra.
All right. At the end of your turn, the creature is going to do a savage rend, which is a leaping attack. It dives straight at you, Olver, and attempts
Okay.
to grapple you. This, as far as the rules that I've
Oh,
pre-set up, is a strength contest. So your athletics.
athletics. Yeah, it's gonna be ugly.
I didn't roll real well.
Well,
See?
oh wow. Okay, I got out of that one.
So you
Very.
manage to, as the creature comes at you, it tries to grab a hold of you, and you manage to break its hold, and it falls down to the ground next to the drake, and snarls up at you. I
Did
had
Ezra
this.
get
I
an
had this.
opportunity attack?
yeah,
No,
opportunity attack.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't elicit
Oh,
one. It uses all 3 points though of its legendary skills in one go. So
wow, he wasted it on me. Sweet.
I can't
yeah, but
banish
if
him
that had
anymore.
hit you,
Oh, I'm
they
sure
do
it's been
a
bad.
gutting rend if they get a hold of you. It does a lot of damage. So
Yeah,
Ezra, you're up.
and I would have lost the dragon.
Cool. I'm gonna flank him.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was already gonna do this, so it was like, he's on the ground now. Less effect. I was thinking he could pile drive you into the ground too.
26 for the first hit.
That'll hit.
22 damage.
Okay. He'll uncanny dodge that puppy.
But I do get 2 points of life steal. Next one. 18
Yep.
It's 14 hits, so you good.
and 11 points.
Okay.
And because I forgot to do it at the beginning of my turn, I will now Hexblades curse him.
Okay.
Definitely should have started with that, but whatever. Yep.
Okay, werewolf's turn. He used all of its legendary points, so it couldn't do anything else. At the end of your turn, it is going to. It is going to do a leap attack at Olver, which actually has a whole lot more likelihood of hitting than its other
Yeah,
attack. Believe it or not.
yeah, that'll do it. First
Second
one
second attack misses. So
misses. Yep. And Ezra gets that if it's a leaping attack, right? You said.
uh yes,
So
he
then Ezra
no
gets a opportunity attack.
no not against these. Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's written into them that they're blinding fast. Remember how fast these things? I wrote them up to be to where they couldn't really. Opportunity attacks don't really work on them very well because
Uh,
because of their
okay.
blinding speed.
Okay, I forgot about that. All right, so Olver takes. Man, I got to move the dragon away so I can. There we go.
So you can access your hit points. I've never had to do that. No.
So 9 points.
You ever play it where I'm like, I gotta move this just so I can
And
stack things up? It's
then
awful.
I got to roll a Constitution save and throw.
What?
10.
No, those were
Well,
claw. Those were claws.
no, the Constitution for maintaining
Oh,
my spell.
gotcha. 10?
Yeah,
Is that the minimum? I think
that should be the minimum, I think.
because you took 9 points of damage.
Yeah.
So I can't
So
remember.
minimum is 10. So yeah, so it's half the damage I have to roll. But a
Half the
minimum of a
damage or
10.
10, whichever one's higher, right?
Which, yes, yeah.
So, yep,
So I
10.
made it.
I was gonna say. I think that's the minimum. So you're good. And then the creature is done. Oliver, you're up.
So let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue with the. Hmm.
Roll to see if you get your breath weapon back first, please.
Oh yeah, sure. Good call. 3. I do not. All right. So for Olver's turn, he will. And so many good things I can't do at the moment. Yeah, I'm just going to produce flame.
Okay.
So anyone to hit. So
Hits.
we know that.
Yeah, if they had the armor class that they had in the Tomb of Horrors, they'd be 20. So, all
Oh yeah. So 13 damage.
right.
A little bit of fire, burning it.
Oh, you guys got this in the bag. The dragon made a big difference.
I was hoping that would. Okay, so then Rend attacks for the dragon.
Okay.
Pull that up. And it's going to make it at advantage now because of. Oh, right. Sorry. Forgot which that I'm rolling. There it is. 21. And actually, they both would have hit. And next one. Yep, 25. So damage now. Nine on the first. And 5 on the second. So 14 total.
Okay.
Okay. And that's all he can do at the moment.
All right. At the end of your turn, the creature is going to attempt to hit you with that same lunging attack it tried to get you with last time. Hail Mary and all that.
Boy. So strength, athletics. Yeah, this is not going to be good. Oh. Well, 3 would have been the first one, I guess. Sorry, I rolled an advantage.
Either way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I go and die. Dragon's going down.
All right. So, well, you still have to get hit by it. So let's roll that
Oh,
first.
okay.
Because this is just grabs you, basically pulls you off of the dragon because it knocks you prone. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm now prone, so he
Yeah,
has advantage.
and it's on top of you and going
Yeah.
to savage you in place. So like you see in the movies.
Entrails flying up in the air.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You're so lucky. I take it that doesn't hit.
No, I'm good.
So you roll out from underneath of the creature as it slams its hands into the ground. It tries to reach for you, but you skitter out of the way. Just barely managing to dodge away from it. See,
Awesome.
yeah, see, it's right there. So that was all three of its legendary points. Ezra, your turn.
Going in.
So that three legendary point ability is nice, but it does use all three legendary points. If it got a hold of you though, ooh, not good.
Yep. Yep.
Now, him grappling is not me flanking anymore, right? Not with the dragon.
Why not? Dragon is engaged.
Well,
I
I'm just
don't
asking.
think it's gonna matter. Just roll. I don't care. I really don't. Here, yeah. See.
So, because of my curse,
Yeah.
rolling a 19 crits.
Nice.
Sure. It doesn't like you didn't even need it, but okay.
So, 32 damage.
Get that dragon out of the way.
Sorry.
How much?
32.
All right, that puts it 23 negative.
All
All right.
right.
And because my curse target just died, I heal 14 points, and I've finished this fight missing 1 hit point.
Wow, you did not die today.
Today is not a good day
Today.
to die. All right, as he goes down,
I'll yell Sword Coast Sentinels while I do it, so that all the gods know who we are.
Malar just goes, well, I guess I'm happy. They seem tough enough. And Talos says, damn straight! Look at that! They made mincemeat out of your pets. Joaquin is kind of trying. You can tell she's turned a little green. She's says, oh, really, must we do this every single time? Eldath is actually has apparently turned herself into a tree. Sylvanas is apparently counting his leaves. the only one that is staring at you when you look around, besides Malar and Talos, is Umberly, and she is licking her lips.
Yeah. We didn't move the corpse over to Umberly.
The corpses just kind of
Oh, they disappeared.
sparkle away. Yep.
Oh, I was going to showboat and raise an accursed specter from their lifeless corpse, but oh well. We good?
Shantae says, yes, quite good, I think. I think you've shown your ability to handle yourselves quite nicely. So, when we find one of these chaos nodes, we will simply bring you back here, you know, for a little powwow, a little war council, and then send you off to go gather it for us.
Okay.
Right. We can do that.
And depending on who comes next time, I apologize in advance. You'll understand.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
your other party members seemed to be busy, and we figured you were the most important ones for the moment.
Yeah, that checks out, yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, we'll send you back now. I really think I just need to go take a hot bath. Some lava would feel quite nice.
I don't know about the lava, but the whole bath, that sounds great. We should do that when we get back. I mean, I almost broke a sweat here.
We're just riding on a dragon, man. Actually, was in the.
Umberly says, "Good job, mortals. I hope to see you on the open sea sometime." And then she vanishes slowly.
I'm going to turn to Olver. We are never getting on a boat.
Never, never, never. We're done with that.
Oral says, "I nearly died of boredom, but I admit the ending wasn't too bad. It's nice to see Malar get put in his place once in a while. The frozen north is inhospitable, but maybe warmth could be found for you." And she disappears.
As they
The
say
cold never
things like
bothered
that,
me anyway.
yeah, I nodded in her. Or what'd you say?
That's good.
The cold never bothered me anyways.
Oh,
uh,
that deserves inspiration right there.
except for he probably already has it. You
Probably.
guys don't ever use it. So
Actually,
Yeah. I'm sorry, but this just didn't. I didn't need to use it this game,
I
which is really
didn't
weird.
make that fight to be super
Yeah.
hard. I mean,
Yeah.
the
So
harder it is,
I
the
fully
longer it
expect to have to
takes.
do it.
And I wanted
Yeah.
more of the role playing. So
Yeah.
but
No,
all right. Just as a
I'm good.
question, Olver, do you have Moonbeam?
Not now.
Okay.
Can't.
and
I couldn't.
I didn't allow the changing of spells before this.
Because I think you knew I didn't have Moonbeam too, right?
No, I didn't look.
Oh, okay.
I don't ever look. I don't.
I thought for this one you might have because of
Because
this.
in a way that's cheating on my part to do that. To
Yeah.
set up an encounter based on the spells that you have is not really a great thing.
I mean, it wouldn't be that unfair for. I mean, well, it'd be
All
unfair
right.
of the
Keep
gods,
your mouth
Let's
shut,
but they
Olver.
could
let's
definitely
not
do
get
it.
any more
They want.
sidetracked. Let me finish here.
Okay.
Okay, so Sylvanas looks at the party and says, "Well, I suppose that you will do for now. Where are the trees?" And he vanishes. Malar says, "Well, I think I'm good. It was such a nice parting gift. Thank you, mortals." And he vanishes. Talos says, "Well, it's not a lightning storm, but we'll see what the future holds. Can't wait to get
Maybe.
my hands on some of that chaos." And he vanishes.
Maybe. Oh, bummer. I was gonna say, but
You're gonna say what?
I was gonna say something, but it's fine.
Well, you could say it if you
Okay.
shout it out while he's, trying to disappear, I suppose.
I was just say next time I'll give you some lightning,
Yeah,
and
I
he's
mean, he
gone.
wouldn't respond to that.
Yeah.
Joaquin looks the party over disdainfully and says, "Well, I, for one, know how I will deal with you. Watch your coin purses." And she disappears. Eldath has turned herself into a tree and stays that way. uh, Shantea says, "Well, I think we're about done here. Maliki?" And Maliki
Don't leave us here with him. Don't leave us here with him.
looks around and and looks over at Ao, and Ao just nods his head and fades away.
Bye, Al.
Shantea, when you look back, is also gone. And then when you look back towards Miliki, the unicorn's back. And it walks out slowly, stops and looks at you, and then walks further this direction, and then points with its horn back towards the other landing where you appeared.
All right.
blows
So
a trilling note on its horn.
start walking that way.
Yep.
And the unicorn walks behind you, Ezra.
Pushing you, prodding you.
Once we
Oh,
get
stop!
over
There's a
here,
sharp horn back there.
can I sit aside and whisper something to her? You wouldn't have a cure for lycanthropy, would you? I'm guessing there's no answer.
She kind of looks at you for a second, and then you could just kind of she lets loose like a musical snort, and then motions for you to continue.
All right. You miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah, I'm not giving that one away. All right, you guys reach the edge of the stairs, and as you do so, the world darkens around you once again, and then you find yourself standing in the top of the tower, and your friends are conversing, and it's like no time has passed at all.
I'll just look over at Ezra. Like, did that really happen? Kind of a look.
I gotta go talk to Zephyros about some stuff.
You see the staff down on the laying in the middle of the floor. The branch, as it were.
I'll go over and pick it up. Dumb place to leave a branch like this. Idiots.
All right. So, other than, I mean, obviously, Ezra believes himself to be infected with lycanthropy. No real changes to yourselves. When you came back, you would have been just as injured as you were before going. Returned back to your physical state before you showed up there.
Okay.
And I imagine the party is going to take a nap, so not not too worried about it. But yeah,
All
Okay.
right.
and
It's
that's
actually
where
very
we
well.
will either start the main campaign next, or if I get another one of these things thrown together, you'll actually get your chance to go after a real chaos piece.
Huh. All right.
But I'm going to stop the stream now.
Okay.